The first thing we noticed as we were walking up, there's this, what looks like a whole colony of cats that seems to live here. The valley's pretty much covered in clouds all the time, but still very nice looking. This is still at the bottom of the walk. Looks like a dry waterfall. Still the bottom of Eo Valley. That's where we'll be walking, and we'll be headed up there, I would guess. This is one view of the Io Needle. Little hiking area below Eo Needle that comes down right by the river. This is also the Eo Valley. Some interesting red-headed bird.
Than when we arrived, not 10 minutes ago.
This is from about halfway up Haleakala. We're on the bike tour. beach we basically rode down to from Haleakala. Nice houses over there. Maybe not houses. Today's a pretty windy day, so you can see the surf's up. This is Kaanapali Beach, outside the embassy. That's Molokai. And over there is Lanai. And that's the building, obviously. See the elevators up the outside. This is the North Beach Grill, and over there's the Hana Bar and Grill where we had dinner several nights. Another little koi pool. This is Honolulu Bay. This is one of our favorite snorkeling spots when it's not quite so choppy. Now this is the south end of the bay, which is quite waves right now. You see there's a good surfing spot out there. Here's the actual bay. It's pretty secluded, but today this is Sunday, it's very brown. So we'll probably do this Tuesday. But you can see, like out there past the boat, there's some nice reefs to snorkel, but it's all brown inside here. But there's quite a little hike down. The road's up above and you hike down to here, so it's pretty secluded bay. Not a lot of people actually get out in it. Big park. A much rougher area.
Nashua only speaking French, so I did my French again. I lost my Spanish. Now I'm getting Spanish back again.
Great! The system, as I mentioned earlier, was started in the early 1830s by two missionary sons, Samuel Alexander and Henry Perrine Baldwin. They weren't interested in going into the ministry, but they did see the potential for great wealth to be made here in the islands. And they petitioned, this is not it, I'll tell you when it is. They did petition the king, the young king of Hawaii, to allow them to build an aqueduct system from the rainforest down to central Maui. The reason that if they could complete their aqueduct in less than 2 years, he would give them and their families title to the land that it sat on, crossed. If it took them more than 2 years, then the monarchy would keep the land and would reap all the benefit. Anyway, this is the first part of it. Most of this aqueduct system is at much higher elevations, but we can see it down close to the road in 3 different parts. That's the first one. In any case, in order to accomplish that goal, those young men went to China and put under contract several thousand Chinese men who were specialists in building aqueducts in China. In most history books, these individuals are referred to as coolies, but they were actually very, very skilled laborers and aqueduct builders. They came over here under contract, either as single men or leaving their families behind, and working together with the missionary sons. In just under 2 years, they completed the first 17 miles of the aqueduct system. And you'll see those throughout the forest. They were brought to Hawaii along with about 50 other types of tall, skinny trees with very extensive root systems in the 1930s as part of Franklin Roosevelt's Conservation Corps project. Brought to Hawaii by that first wave of immigration, those Chinese aqueduct builders. They brought it for erosion control around the aqueduct system and also used it as a food source. The young shoots are quite nutritious and delicious. So,
unbelievable, huh?
Anyway, the bamboo-like plants from other countries where there's a lot of competition for sunshine and water and nutrients, this bamboo is very aggressive and has taken over hundreds of acres and is considered a pest. It's actually, I think it's really pretty, but it is considered a pest by ecologists in Africa, and they were part of that Conservation Corps project also. None of the trees that were planted have valuable lumber. They all just have extensive villages protected themselves from each other. The Hawaiian people themselves are thought to be descended from 2 major groups in the Pacific. These were the last islands to be colonized. We are what is called the tip of the Polynesian Triangle. We're at the most northern end of all the islands of Polynesia. We really got that Tahitian gene for war. But anyway, and he wanted to put an end to war. So anyway, with those weapons, he was able to wage war in such a way as to convince all the chiefs that growth and change and great wealth was being made, not so much by the Hawaiians themselves, but by other people coming over and, just, doing plantations and doing whaling and sailing and trading and all kinds of things were going on. It was a
It's raining a little bit. This is our first stop on the Hana tour.
Yo creo que es allá.
This is just along the side of the road. You see there's a waterfall up there. And there's a really big one right there.
Yes.
Saw lava rock here. This is just below, above Hana. We haven't got there yet. How's that?
That most of the houses are up off the ground. That's to improve ventilation. It's very humid out here. That helps keep the breeze moving around the house. So kind of helps control mold and mildew a little bit. This is where the pier was torn right off the pilings by the tsunami. And then across the street, you can see that pier is quite damaged also. And again, they never repaired these because they feared it happening again. And we have had lots of tsunamis, but none of them that big, anywhere near that big. It's what's called a fish spotting hut. And fishermen sit up there and watch for schools of a fish called a coolie, which is in the mackerel family. It's very popular here. And hotel. We have what? One beautiful hotel here. This is the Hana Hotel. And it has stables. We'll see in a few minutes. And there's the restaurant. Right next to it.
This is the flower nursery where we had lunch. These are the big falls past Hana, just before the 7 pools. There's supposedly another 400 feet above this, a fall that we cannot see.
Revs way up when I'm on the freeways over there. So I kind of understand when people are just here for a few days and they tackle this road, they forget that they need to go really slowly.
This is a lot to tackle.
Yeah. And nobody's in. Oh yeah, there is swimming. Okay, we'll be here an hour.
This is the trail down to the pools of Ohio. So here we're sitting above a little waterfall at the pools, right there. Goes right out to the ocean.
You're not supposed to. It's attached to a myth that the volcano goddess will
That's not lucky, right?
rain down punishment on you if you.
Yeah.
That's the road where we'll be going. This is still backside of Hana, coming around to back to the front of the island.
Maybe you will be lucky.
Got it.